Querying is effing hard. And I say that, and I'm a writer who's querying only my first book, and I've only been querying a few months. So I'm not even far enough into this process to be sufficiently jaded. If you're new to this channel, and you probably are, I'm Zinnia, and I like to read and write. I'm currently querying my first book, which is psychological horror, and I'm drafting my second book, which is a Southern Gothic dystopian kind of thing. And here on my channel, I like to do mostly writing vlogs and fun stuff, but today is a sit down video, and I have something I want to talk about today that has to do with querying and kind of a sensitive topic maybe for some people, which is AI generated content. And yeah, this is my second time recording this video because it's really hard to get the tone right, and I felt like my first attempt came across sounding kind of bratty and entitled, and that's not the vibe that I'm going for, and that's not the feeling that I have behind this because honestly, like I've been querying my first book since January, and it's been a pretty good experience. I've had 3 full requests, and I have 2 full requests that are still out and haven't been rejected yet. So I still have hope, and I sent out a few more queries just yesterday. So, and there's a vlog upcoming about that. I don't know which video will come first, this one or that vlog, but yeah, so I'm feeling pretty good about querying, although a couple weeks ago I was digging through some old TikTok, YouTube content about querying and query letter critiques, and I stumbled upon a video that was published several months ago by a creator who's pretty well known and well liked in the writing community. I won't name this person, but yeah, this video really put me kind of into a spiral about how query letters are evaluated and what we're really up against. So this person received a query letter for a critique, and upon opening it, they read through it and thought, this kind of seems like AI. This creator thought it would be a good idea to plug that query letter into an AI detector, and the result was unsurprising to me. But the person seemed to really trust it and said, "Oh, yep, see, it's AI generated." And then they kind of tossed the query letter aside and went on a little rant about how we shouldn't use AI to create queries and write books. I agree 100%. We shouldn't be using AI for creative endeavors because of all of the associated IP concerns and quagmire, essentially. And I need to put a disclaimer here also that this particular creator does a service to the writing community, and I really respect this person. I will continue to consume their content. I think they give great advice in general, and I like them as a person. However, it's really problematic that people who build themselves as publishing professionals or editors would be putting submitted work into AI detectors. Like, I don't know, maybe the minute we send materials to an agent or an editor, maybe at that point we kind of give up some control over what happens to our materials. I don't really know. I don't really know if they're allowed to put things into LLMs or if there is even enough precedence to kind of make any kind of rule about that. And I think it's just a person by person, case by case basis, which is why I'm making this video, and it's worrying. So you may be thinking that this AI generated query letter or manuscript thing doesn't apply to you because you didn't use AI, so why do you care? Let me tell you something. It does apply to you. So I took my original query letter that I created not using AI, and I popped it into 6 AI detectors that are free on Google. And you probably won't be surprised by the results. I wasn't surprised. One of them said it was 99% AI generated content. One of them said 92% AI content, and one of them said like 5%. And that one just flagged like the last sentence that was like, thank you for your time and consideration, which obviously is not original. Okay. And then the other three came back as 0% AI content. So clearly, there's no consensus. These things are very unreliable and inconsistent, and we already knew that. So why are there so many of these like supposed AI detectors available online? Well, for the same reason that there are diet pills that say they'll make you skinny if you can keep eating whatever you want. There's a problem people want to cure, and this is really a thorn in the side for many industries, especially the publishing industry. And yeah, people want a quick fix, and there's just not one. I know somebody who works in ethical and explainable AI, and he told me that it's just completely impossible right now. He's and he also seems skeptical that in the future we would be able to pull this off, this AI detection thing, because he said the math just doesn't work that way. And I'll take his word for it because honestly, I am kind of a Luddite, and I I want to be better with technology. I'm just not that great. And but yeah, I've done a little bit of other research, and I will link some sources in the description if you haven't looked into this very much. I'll put a few things that I read down there. But yeah, basically we know these things don't work. I've proven to myself that these things don't work. So yeah, why does this really matter though? And why am I so concerned? Well, how do we know if agents are using AI detectors on our submissions or not? How do we know? We don't know. I don't know if we ever can know. And yeah, maybe this video is kind of pointless and it's just anxiety fueled kind of rant. I hope it's not a rant. It's not the that's not the feeling I'm trying to give you. Um, but basically, here's my main concern. We know that some agents have text in their manuscript wish lists and on their query tracker forms that say like, I don't accept work that was created using AI. AI work will be auto rejected. All of these kinds of things. And there's the checkbox on query tracker that says if whether or not the work was generated using AI. And I think that's a really good thing. I think we need that kind of safeguard. But my big question is, are we really on the honor system here? Is that just the only way that this is being determined? Or are agents doing something? Here's what I imagine happening. And I'm probably catastrophizing, and I'm really good at catastrophizing, according to a mental health professional. I'm really good at thinking of like the worst case scenario, but here's what I imagine happening. An agent reads my query, they're kind of intrigued. They're sort of into it. They're on the fence about requesting materials though, because maybe my writing doesn't seem that good in the query letter, or maybe they see some big problem with it. Maybe it's not that marketable. Anyway, they're like, let me just think about this a little bit. And then they're like, well, let me make sure that this isn't AI. Maybe they take 5 seconds, copy and paste, pop it into an AI detector. I don't know. Are they doing that? I don't know if there's a way to know that. And it's probably on an agent by agent, agency by agency, case by case sort of basis. There's probably no across the board answer for this. And that's what is kind of making me anxiety spiral about it, because then I'm left with this question as to whether or not I should be reworking my query and tweaking it in a way so that none of the AI detectors will come back and say that it's like definitively AI. But I don't know if that's even possible, and it's probably a waste of my time, and no one should probably be doing that. But I just want somebody to read my book, and I just want an agent to like my book, and I'm trying to take any obstacle or impediment out of the way that could be there and that might be there based on this like technological technicality that shouldn't be there and is frustrating. And like, honestly, I know I'm not the only one thinking about this, because I've seen some similar questions on Reddit, and I've actually seen a couple of YouTube videos and booktube videos kind of recently that are about people accusing authors of using AI to write books by using AI detectors. So, yeah. I'm sorry that this video is really gloomy, and I just don't think I can get rid of the tone issue because it just is inherent in what I'm talking about. And yeah, I generally have a pretty sunny outlook on writing and querying because I just haven't been doing it long enough to be jaded. And maybe that's also just my personality type. I just am always trying to look on the bright side of things. And with this, I am looking on the bright side in that I don't think all agents are doing this. I don't think most editors are doing it because there are so many ethical concerns with it. But yeah, I'm just kind of worried that what if that one agent who really would have meshed well with my work didn't request based on something like this? Anyway, sorry to dump this bad feeling on you if you weren't already having the same anxiety, but I think some of you probably are, and that's why I made this video because I think there's a conversation to be had here, and I would like to have that conversation with you. So, if you are already agented and you would feel comfortable asking your agent about this kind of thing and you think they might give you a straight answer, would you please ask them and come back and tell us in the comments whether or not they've ever drop somebody's work into an AI detector? And I think if there are some agents who do this, they probably won't tell you about it. Um, but yeah, if you think that I've gotten something really wrong and that I'm being ridiculous, you can go ahead and say that in the comments. If you're feeling the same way that I'm feeling, please tell me. That will make me feel not vindicated or justified, but just not alone. It'll give me a little sense of camaraderie here. Anyway, if you want some more positive and upbeat content from me, go and check out one of my vlogs. Thanks for making it this far in my video. Yeah, if you are querying now, I hope you get so many requests and offers. And if you'll be querying soon, good luck with your writing and editing process. Okay, bye.